Hi everyone, welcome to the Schwoven's Nest. Today I'm excited to share with you my Trash to Treasure videos, episode 1. I'm going to be showing you how to make the little keys frame with the anchors. When I find a nice wood frame at the thrift store, I always start with a base coat of my white linen chalk paint. So I'm going to do that for this frame and for the other one while I've got my paintbrush out. I'm going to do 2 coats of the linen white on the front and back.
So while I'm waiting for the paint to dry on the frames, I'm going to take the backing of the square frame and I'm going to be putting these boards on them. I want them to look like shiplap. So I have some extra pieces here that I'm going to see if they're long enough, and it looks like they're just not going to make it. So I'm probably going to have to cut down some fresh ones, which is fine. So I'm just going to go across here and mark with my pencil the area that I need to cut. Should have had my pencil with me. Here we go. So just going to go on the inside a bit, and that will give me the marking line for all of the other pieces that I'm going to be cutting. So if I start here, it looks like I'm going to need at least 3, maybe even a little bit more than 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark the rest of them and then cut them out.
These sticks that I'm using are just balsa wood plant labels, and I picked those up at Dollarama for $1.25 for 10.
So I'm also going to give these a coat of my linen white chalk paint and let them dry. I don't have to worry about the sides or the back because you won't actually see those. They'll be glued right onto the frame itself. I also don't mind if a little bit of the wood shows through because that gives it a little bit more of a distressed look. So in order to glue these 3 pieces together and have them stay together, I'm going to use another piece like this, and I'm just going to cut it in half. This was one of my scrap pieces. So I'm just going to cut this in half, and once these are dry, I'll be gluing these on the back of these 3 little boards so it's all one piece. This is the frame that I'm going to be putting the 3 little boards in to make it look like shiplap. I've measured them and checked it out to make sure that they're going to fit. So now I'm just going to be gluing the little pieces, the support pieces, onto the back to make sure that I have one big piece that I can work with when I'm doing my lettering. And I'm using my new hot glue gun with the really fancy tip. So excited that I finally got myself one of those. So I'm just going to, actually I'm going to do it the other way. Let's put some glue on here. Make sure they're nice and laid out properly. Hold them together and then glue it on. And then I'll do the same for the other side. So here's my little faux shiplap boards, and they're going to fit just nicely inside here. But before I do that, because I'm actually going to be gluing them right inside where the glass and the frame usually fit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put some lettering on here first. So what I'm doing with this frame is I'm actually going to put some hooks on it so it can be used for keys. So at my cottage, these are the little hangers that I'm going to use. It's all one piece and it has 4 little hooks for keys, and they're a little tall. So once I fit it onto here, they're actually going to, the top parts of the anchors are going to actually come through here, but I think that's going to look kind of neat that they're just overlapping a little bit. I also wanted to give this frame more of a weathered look, so I'm going to use my favorite brush that I use for this, and I'm going to use the aged gray Rust-Oleum chalk paint, and I'm going to dry brush just by dipping into the paint, get a little bit on and then dab off, and then literally just go across it. I'm going fairly heavy with this one. I want it to have some nice color. just putting some darker spots in it in a few areas. And I'm also going to go around the edges of the frame and give it a little bit of a rustic look here as well.
So my little shiplap sign is dry, and I'm going to use the Craft Smart oil-based pen from Michaels, and I'm just going to write in the word keys, and I'm going to use the Ray Dunn lookalike font that I've been using quite a bit lately. To put all the pieces together, I've turned the frame upside down, and then I've gone and cleaned the glass, and I'm putting that in and then putting the sign in as well, using hot glue to make sure that everything stays in place. The last step is to attach the hooks to the frame. I'm going to use a combination of E6000, some hot glue, and I'm also going to use the 2 screws that were provided with the little anchor set and screw them in. The wood of the frame is a little too hard, so I did have to do some pre-drilling, which I did off camera. You may also notice that the anchors are not the bronze color anymore. I actually took them outside and used the Krylon hammered metal finish spray paint and painted them silver. I thought the bronze just didn't match with the black print, so I really liked the look of the gray on it. Here's the finished piece. Sorry that the bottom part is cut off a little bit, but I do think it turned out really sweet, and it's going to make a great addition to my cottage, where I'm going to be able to put it in our mudroom when we first walk in and use that spot to house our keys. Here's another view of it just sitting on a shelf for right now. I think it has a great beachy theme. It's kind of whitewashed and distressed looking, so I think it's going to work really well for the cottage. This is episode 1 of my Trash to Treasure videos. I tend to do a lot of thrifting, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I upcycle those thrifted items. So if you'd like to see more, stay tuned to my next episodes. I've got 2 and 3 coming up soon. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell to get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching!